March 25, 2009. A handyman walks to the back door of a home in Grovetown, Georgia. Glass crunches under his boots. Inside, he finds 41-year-old Kay Parsons lying in a pool of blood, a baseball bat and hammer beside her broken body. She's barely breathing. Her best friend and neighbor, Becky Sears, rushes to the hospital. She holds Kay's hand. She prays for her survival. 2 days later, Becky herself is shot in a parking lot. But here's what nobody knew: one of these women orchestrated it all. The other was the target, and the truth would only come out when a voice from behind bars revealed a secret affair that turned deadly. Who killed Kay Parsons? The answer is closer than anyone imagined. Laverne Catherine Parsons goes by Kay. Born in Pennsylvania in 1968, she marries her high school sweetheart, David Parsons, right after graduation. He joins the army. She becomes the devoted military wife, moving wherever duty calls. In 2005, the family settles in Grovetown, Georgia, a quiet suburb outside Augusta. Population 6,000, safe streets, manicured lawns, the kind of place where neighbors know each other's kids' names. Kay works at Healing Hands Physical Therapy Clinic. She's a baseball mom to her 12-year-old son Derek, never missing a game. Sunday school teacher, woman of faith, the Parsons seem to have the American dream locked down. Next door lives Rebecca Sears. Everyone calls her Becky. She's 41, married to Tony Sears, mother to 5 children from 2 relationships. Her oldest sons are Michael and Christopher Bowers from a previous marriage. Becky works at the same physical therapy clinic as Kay. The two families are inseparable: double dates, vacations together. They join Weight Watchers as a team. Their kids play in each other's yards. Becky calls Kay her best friend. David Parsons travels frequently for his contractor work with the military. When he's gone, Becky checks on Kay. Brings over dinner. The families share everything. But in the 6 months before March 2009, something shifts. Kay starts pulling away. She declines invitations, makes excuses. Friends notice tension in her smile when Becky's around. What Kay doesn't know yet is that Becky has been sharing more than just dinners with the Parsons family. She's been sharing David. The affair starts quietly. Late-night phone calls when Tony is asleep, text messages deleted immediately, meetings in parking lots. Becky confides in her incarcerated brother Jerry Jacobs during a jail visit. She's crying. David won't leave his wife. He's trying to end it. Becky tells Jerry she wishes she knew someone who could kill Kay and make it look like an accident. Jerry doesn't take her seriously, not yet. David is in Los Angeles for work on March 24, 2009. Kay prepares breakfast for Derek, drops him at school, grabs McDonald's, and returns home around 7:15 a.m. She has no idea someone is waiting for her. In 90 minutes, her life will be over. 8:45 a.m., a construction worker named Mitchell arrives at the Parsons home for a scheduled job. He knocks on the front door. No answer. He walks around back. The door is shattered, glass everywhere. He calls 911. Columbia County Sheriff's deputies enter the blood-soaked house. They follow a trail from the kitchen, through the hallway, into the garage. That's where they find Kay. Staff Sergeant Jimmy Edmonds arrives on scene. He's a veteran investigator. What he sees stops him cold. Kay Parsons lies motionless on the garage floor. A child's baseball bat rests near her head, a claw hammer. Blood pools around her skull. Her face is unrecognizable. But she's alive, barely, a faint heartbeat. EMTs rush her to the hospital. Doctors tell David, flying back from California, that his wife has been declared brain dead. Back at the scene, investigators notice something else. The house next door, belonging to Tony and Becky Sears, has also been burglarized same morning. Blood found on the back door handle. 2 houses, same culprit, but why? Mitchell, the construction worker, tells police something's odd. When he arrived at Kay's house, he saw someone sitting on a boulder between the two properties, a young man, just sitting there, watching. That young man is Michael Bowers, Becky's oldest son. Edmonds approaches Michael outside the crime scene. Asks to see his shoes. Michael complies. Embedded in the sole of his right sneaker is a shard of glass. Forensics confirms it matches the glass from Kay's broken door. Michael has a history, drug problems, past burglaries. He's 20 years old, unemployed, struggles with addiction. He's brought in for questioning. He denies everything, says he doesn't know how the glass got there. But investigators have their suspect, or so they think. Then, 36 hours later, everything changes. March 26th, evening, Becky Sears leaves her workplace, the same physical therapy clinic where Kay worked. She walks to her car in the parking lot. A man emerges from the woods. He shoots her in the leg, demands money and runs away. Becky calls 911. She's rushed to the hospital. The wound isn't life-threatening, but now investigators have two crimes, two neighboring families, and no clear connection. Edmonds is frustrated. He knows something ties these cases together. He just can't see it. At the hospital, Becky makes a confession to investigators. She's been having an affair. She doesn't name the man, not yet. Then, the following morning, a breakthrough arrives from the most unexpected source. Jerry Jacobs, Becky's brother, is incarcerated at the time. He sees news coverage of Kay Parsons' murder on TV. He immediately contacts investigators. He has information about his sister. Jerry Jacobs sits across from Edmonds in an interview room. He tells the detective that Becky confessed to him about an affair with David Parsons months ago. She met Jerry in a parking lot outside the jail, crying. David was trying to end it. He wouldn't leave Kay. Becky was devastated and obsessed. Jerry recalls something else. Becky asked him if he knew anyone who could kill Kay and make it look like an accident. Phone records confirm Jerry's story. Text messages between Becky and David, sent after February 2009, when Becky claimed the affair ended. Messages that say, "I love you." Messages planning secret meetups. Suddenly, motive materializes. But if Becky orchestrated Kay's murder, who did she use? Michael, with the glass in his shoe, maintains his innocence. His alibi is shaky, but nothing concrete ties him to the actual attack. Then Edmonds learns about Christopher Bowers, Becky's other son from her first marriage, 19 years old, employed. Lived in his own place. Friends and family describe Christopher as a mama's boy, but not in the typical sense. His devotion to Becky goes beyond normal. He does everything she asks, anything to make her happy. Jerry provides another details. Recently, Becky gave Christopher money, a house, prescription Xanax, lots of it. Christopher developed an addiction. He owes her and she knows it. Christopher is brought in for questioning on March 27th. He refuses to speak. Pause a second. At this point, who's the real suspect? Christopher, Becky, or David? Let's find out. Becky, however, tells a different story. She admits she often cried in front of Christopher about the affair, about how David wouldn't leave Kay. She claims Christopher misunderstood, thought she wanted him to hurt Kay. Then she lays out what happened on March 25th. That morning, Becky picked Christopher up from his house and brought him to her home. Kay and Becky both had to drop their kids at school. Becky left first with her children. Christopher waited in her backyard. She claims she told him not to do anything. But when Kay returned home alone at 7:15 a.m., Christopher jumped the fence. He broke in through the back door. Kay heard him. She tried to run. He cornered her in the kitchen. She fought back. He chased her into the garage. That's where he beat her with Derek's baseball bat, then grabbed a hammer and kept going until she stopped moving. He stole Kay's gold necklace and watched to make it look like a robbery. Then he went to Becky's house, staged a break-in, and ran into the woods with a backpack full of spare clothes. Becky picked him up after he called. His face was covered in blood, his clothes weren't. And the shooting? Also staged. Christopher helped Becky fake the attack to divert attention away from them. Prosecutors faced the death penalty for both, but evidence is circumstantial. No DNA, no fingerprints, no eyewitnesses. Until Becky makes a deal. On May 2012, 3 years after Kay's murder, Becky Sears pleads guilty to murder, armed robbery, and burglary. In exchange for avoiding the death penalty, she agrees to lead investigators to evidence. She takes them to her mother's attic. Inside a box, hidden away, are Christopher's clothes from March 25, 2009, still covered in Kay's blood. DNA testing confirms it. Christopher's DNA is on the baseball bat, on the hammer, all over Kay's garage. With physical evidence finally secured, Christopher has no choice. He pleads guilty too. Staff Sergeant Edmonds reflects on the case. He calls Becky Sears one of the most narcissistic women he's ever encountered. She manipulated her own son, fed his addiction, and used his love for her as a weapon. Christopher's devotion to his mother cost Kay Parsons her life. Becky Sears is sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for murder and an additional life sentence for armed robbery, 20 years for burglary, all consecutive. Christopher Bowers receives the same, life without parole. David Parsons is cleared of any involvement in Kay's murder. He was 2,000 miles away when she died, but his affair with Becky set everything in motion. He eventually remarries and continues living in the family home in Grovetown. Derek Parsons, Kay's son, joins the Marine Corps. He seeks distance from the trauma that shattered his childhood. Tony Sears divorces Becky following her arrest. Michael Bowers, initially suspected because of the glass in his shoe, is exonerated. The glass was likely transferred when he walked through the area after the crime. He struggles with the fallout from being wrongly accused. The Grovetown community is left reeling. How could a best friend, a neighbor who seemed so caring, orchestrate such violence? This case reveals the darkest side of obsession. Becky Sears didn't just want David Parsons, she wanted Kay's entire life, and when she couldn't have it, she decided Kay shouldn't have it either. She used the one person who would never say no to her, her own son. Christopher Bowers, manipulated by drugs, money, and a twisted sense of loyalty, became the weapon his mother wielded against an innocent woman. Kay Parsons lost her life because her husband strayed, because her best friend wanted what she had, because jealousy consumed reason, but she never saw it coming. If someone you trusted with your life was secretly plotting your death, would you see the signs? Or would you, like Kay, believe the mask they wore until it was too late? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This case is a reminder that the greatest danger sometimes lives right next door. Next week, we will cover an event of a pregnant woman who vanishes after a baby shower. Her husband reports her missing, but security footage reveals she never left the house. What really happened at those missing hours? Join us as we uncover this mystery. Please like, share and subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there.